Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to solve this question named weird sum, which is div 1a question. So question is about Manhattan distance, and we have a grid or table of size n cross m, where every cell of the table contains a number 1 to 10 to the power of 5, and we have to calculate the Manhattan distance of every pair of cell which has the same color or the same entry. Here they are using some term like color, so it is basically meaning that cells have the same entry. So basically we have to calculate the sum of all the distances of the pairs where x1 comma y1 and x2 comma y2 are same, and the Manhattan distance between those points will be mod of x1 minus x2 plus mod of y1 minus y2. So let us take a look at this first example test case where n is 2, m is 3, means number of rows is 2, columns is 3, so 2 3. So it states that it is 2 3 2 3, and entries are 1 2 3 and 3 2 1. So basically see this 1 comma 1 and 2 comma 3, these two cells have same entry, which is 1. So that's why Manhattan distance between these 2 points will be mod of 1 minus 2 plus mod of 1 minus 3, which is 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. And similarly between this 2 and this 2, Manhattan distance will be 1. I'm making these answers in the square. So, and between 3 and 3, same as 1 and 1, the answer will be 3. So sum of all these 3 will be 7. So for first sample test case, answer is 7. Similarly, for the second sample test case, if we count all the pairs, count the Manhattan distance between all the pairs, it should result in 76. Similarly, for third, it should be 129. So the way I approached this problem was like, suppose uh, suppose this is the grid, and here suppose entry E was there at x1 comma y1, the same entry was at x2 comma y2, the same entry was on x3 comma y3, and the same entry was on x4 comma y4 as well. So what I will do is that I will sort all these pairs, means sort. Okay, basically Manhattan distance we can calculate it by pairs of x and then pairs of y. What I mean by that is our answer will be equal to mod of x1 minus x2 plus mod of x2 minus x3, here mod of x1 minus x3, mod of x1 minus x4 plus mod of x2 minus x4 plus mod of x3 minus x4. So what we can observe is that we can separately calculate the answer for x coordinate and then separately for y coordinate, and then we can add them. Okay, so to do that, suppose I have this x1 coordinate here, x2 coordinate, x3 and x4, so on up to suppose xk, where I am taking all of these in sorted order, sorted in increasing order. Okay, sorted. So suppose The distance between x1 and x2 is d1, x2 and x3 is d2, x3 and x4 is d3, so on up to the last distance will be dk minus 1. So when I'm going from x1 to x2 and then x1 to x3 and so on up to all the xi's possible, what I am doing is that I am counting this d1. I go to x1 to x2, I count d1 one time. I go x1 to x3, I count d1 for one more time. I count d2 and some other distances for the following xi's, but first I am taking the look at d1, how much times I am adding d1 to my answer. So to going to the x3, again I add d1, to x4 again I add 1, so on up to how much times? K minus 1 times, right? K minus 1 times. So this will be d1 into k minus 1. Okay, and for this d2 times I'm looking at this x2. When I'm going to x2 to x3, d2 is d2 is being added 1 times, so on up to it will get added k minus 2 times. But when we were traveling from x1 to other xi's, also we have to take account d2, right? Because when we are going to x1 to x3 or x1 to x4 or some further xi's, we also added we should add d2 to our answer, right? So again, if I take x1 to the account, I add d2 to my answer, d2 into when going to x3, x4 and further xi's. So it is again basically k minus 2 times. Okay, so d2 is getting added, d2 into 2 into k minus 2 times. And if I follow this pattern, d3 will get added 3 into k minus 3 times to the answer. Okay, and d4 will be added to the answer for 4 into k minus 4 time. So this is for x coordinates, and similar thing we can do for y coordinates as well. And finally we will add the answers of both the coordinates together and output the answer. That is basically the solution. Remember that we have to sort these in the increasing order before we start to calculate the answer. If we don't sort, what will happen is that, take a look at this e, this e, this e, this e and this e. In the implementation, I will store x coordinate of this, then this, while traveling the grid like in row major order. So like this, I will store x1, then store x2, then store x3 and then store x4. But x4 is less than x3, but in my solution I have taken x4 as greater than x3 because I am taking that all the di's are positive. All the di's are positive. Okay, so that's why we have to sort the coordinates of the entries that that have the same cell number. Okay, not the same cell number, the entry which is same in all the cells. Okay, so let us head to the code. So in code, here taking of the output is completed. I am ensuring one based indexing by doing this n+1 and m+1. Then I am storing map for vertical, means for the y coordinates, y ordinates, and horizontals for the x coordinates. So I am traveling this grid in row major order. Then I'm storing the cells which have that number. Okay, means ma of I comma j dot pushback of I, means what am I doing is that, so sorry for the disturbance, and I am storing the x indexes in the horizontals map and y indexes in the verticals map, which have the same entry in those cells. So these are some nice debugging steps I have added. If you want to check the code by yourself how it works, so initializing the answer variable, and same thing same thing again as per the discussed solution, uh, initializing a to 1 and b to the entry dot second dot size entry in the verticals, means verticals map, then sorting that entry. So sorting the entry dot second from beginning to end. Basically entry is the vector which is having x or y coordinates according to the corresponding map, which has the same entry in corresponding cells. And uh, as we have seen in the solution that this thing a is getting incremented one by one. Here it was 1, then it gets 4 after 3, and this b thing is getting decreased. So that's why I've done a plus plus and b minus minus. Done same for the verticals map and the horizontal maps as well. Then finally adding temp to the answer every time, and finally outputting the answer. So hope you all enjoyed the video and the solution as well. For more such interesting code forces problems and solutions, stay tuned with the channel. Please like the video and stay subscribed. Thank you for watching.